Hello, welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and if this sign is your sun, moon, or rising, this is your reading. And I really want to thank you all for your likes, shares, and subscribes. You all matter so much to me. Thank you. And if this particular reading resonates with you, I would love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. Without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my beautiful turtle with a new name. Ta-da! This is Woody. All right, and yes, he won the vote, and that is super cool. I am looking so forward to keeping Woody on the table with a fabulous name. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get busy. So Aquarius, we're going to go ahead and get into the full overview for October, which is going to have 5 weeks in it, which will have 5 columns of cards and 3 rows as per usual. And of course, let's go ahead and light a candle right away and get some good vibes going here. I have a new candle we're playing with. It is a chakra candle, which is super cool. Lots of good colors, no good smells, but definitely it's called the 3 Yantra, and it's really quite pretty. So I'm excited about that. Let's go ahead and get this thing lit. Even though it doesn't have any good smells, it definitely has some good energy. So I really like that. Very nice. All right, we'll set that right here. Yes, so much going on in October. I have a couple of messages from my better angels. We want to talk about how this particular month we're going to be taking the high road with neighbors and friends and other people who do little things that make us a little crazy. All right, so we're going to make up a story in our head, which I know sounds a little goofy. We're pulling ourselves away from the irritation space where we want to throttle them and into a place of compassion. Okay, now we're going to tell ourselves a little story. This is a story that will be between you and you. Nobody else needs to know what you're saying to yourself or how that's working out for you. But the idea is to calm yourself down by making up a story that helps you feel like you're doing them a solid, right? So maybe your neighbor walks past your yard and lets their dog poop in your yard every time and never bothers to pick it up, right? So instead of getting in their face or dealing with them in any way, shape, or form, you can come up with a story that supports the idea that they just can't, right? So maybe they hurt their back and they've had back surgeries and they just can't bend over to touch their toes right now or ever anymore, and while they're standing. So now we're like, huh, that sucks, right? And now, well, I'll do them a solid and I'll just pick up after the dog. It's not a big deal. And now you're doing them a solid instead of it being some sort of an issue where you need to have a big discussion about it. You're just reframing the project, right? And it can work in many ways. It can be a coworker eating your food. It can be, whatever it is that makes your brain go, what? And you'll make those decisions, and it will help you be more comfortable throughout your life and throughout certainly this month of October. All right? So check that out and see how it works for you. Comment below if you want to let me know how that works. That's good. I'm here for you. The other thing you'll find from my better angels is talking about how this month we need to do projects and make them be small, manageable pieces. So we want to be proactive in how we finish a project so that if we're doing weekday projects, we want to go start to finish and have it all cleaned up and all the tools put away so that we can have company and have a comfortable time over the weekend and not have it be like a problem with everybody stomping and roaring past paint buckets or whatever. By all means, if you want to leave up the plastic and the tape, I totally understand, but everything else, the buckets and the tools and everything else have to get out of the way so that they won't get kicked or be spilled or anything like that. Smart choices, get them in the garage, out of the way. Now, if you're doing weekend warrior projects, by all means, you're going to do the same thing, only backwards. Or same, anyway, you know what I mean. You're going to do the work on Saturday and Sunday, but you're going to pick up all your tools and maybe put, a piece of plywood over a hole you left in the yard. But all the tools and shovels and all that need to be put away so that nobody gets hurt, okay? And you'll have to be able to walk past it all week long without it being a problem, and then come back to it on the next weekend, all right? So very cool. I like that concept because it really keeps things clean and tidy and proper, all right? Very good news. Let's talk now about the cards, all right? So I'm using a brand new deck as per usual to get that guiding card for you. And this will be a monthly card that we talk about all week, every week. We'll reference it and talk about it a little bit. So what do we have for you, Aquarius? What is here for you for this month of October? It's right here. Right here. Okay. Cool. Now then, we are going to set these cards aside. This deck, by the way, is called the Embroidered Forest Tarot, which means that every one of these cards is a picture of an embroidery project that represents the tarot, which is super cool, and has little woodland creatures and stuff. What did you get? Ooh, well, look at you. You got the Tower, which shows that things are either going to be falling apart or falling together for you, Aquarius. So lots of opportunities for things to start doing something. They are going to be in motion. Whether they're together or apart will be revealed, okay? So, fun. I like this. Let's go ahead and put it over here. Let it sit still over here and be what it's supposed to be. Very nice. I like that. This is our Tempest deck. We're going to use that for our overview. But first and foremost, we're going to get a mystery card using the Mythic Tarot. Look how that works. Yay! We've used this deck before, but we are using it again. I think it's back in play. I like it very much. And we'll go ahead and take this card for you, Aquarius, for this first week of October. We'll look at this card at the end of the reading so that we have new information, and it'll be more information that will help tie things together. All right? So let's use this Tempest deck to go and do the full overview. All right? So we're going to have those 5 columns of cards. The first row is going to be where we are each of those weeks. And next row down is going to be what's blocking us each of the weeks. And then, of course, the final row is our solution for those weeks as well. So that's pretty cool. I don't like to look at trouble without finding a solution. All right? Very nice. I'm going to set these cards aside. And now we'll go ahead and look. So each one of these columns represents a week in October. All right? And we're going to go through it pretty quickly, right? And then we'll come back and I'll set all these aside, and then we'll go in deep on this very first week, all right? So let's look at what's happening here. We're talking about September 28th through October 4th, the first week of October. 9 of Swords is here, showing that there is going to be something going on where you want to, if people are asking you to step up and be in charge of something that you're a little leery of being in charge of, you're like, do I really need to be the one in charge of this situation? I don't know if I want to. Of course, the truth is, you wouldn't like what anyone else did anyway, and any past experience you had that didn't go very well is actually better experience because now you have a better idea how to handle it, okay? Whether it's wrangling the cats that are your friends, or if it's something else, you're going to find a way to do it differently and more better so that everything comes together rather smoothly, all right? Well played. Love that. Good job. Just say yes, okay? You have methods now that you didn't have before. This card here is talking about how where you're blocked and you're not feeling interesting, you're not feeling in control. Even though they're asking you to be in control, you have somebody backseat driving a lot who's acting like they want to be in charge, even though you're the one supposed to be in charge. So this person needs to be sent on their merry way. Or just hand it all to them and say, here, you plan it. And they'll back off, okay? That's usually the way it happens, is that if you put it all in their hands, even as they're trying to block you, right? Somebody wants to block you in your power, and the fact is, you're also the ones who just begged me to take control of the situation. So now you got to step out of the way and let me do my thing, all right? So very interesting. Excellent. You're going to do that. And get them out of your way, which is super cool. And interestingly enough, there will be something as part of your solution that you will delegate to somebody else. Oh no, wait, the 5 of Swords, whoops, my bad. 5 of Swords is all about how you're not delegating. You're taking back something you already delegated. Ha-ha. So you're stepping into your power. You're stepping in to be in charge of a thing. And you've had to get somebody off your back. Hey, I'm in charge here. Step aside. And then presto changeo. You're like, oh man, you need to go do something else while I figure this out, because somebody else has been handling part of it and they're doing a poor job. Okay, so now you want to make sure that you're in charge of all of it. So that's going to be a very stepping into a situation and cleaning it up, making it right, packaging it properly, and yep, nope, that's mine too. Come on, give it back. All right, cool. And then you'll be able to work it out. Okay, so it's quite a lot of hunting and gathering to get your stuff in order. And you'll have other people reaching in, and you'll be like, stop doing that, get out of here. Like, okay, okay. So that's a lot going on, all right? Now then, let's talk about, I'm sure when we go in deeper, it'll become more understandable. So let's talk about the 5th through the 11th. We have the 6 of Swords. You're going to be able to use your power to help other people, meaning that whatever you're doing, whatever you're in charge of is going to help other people do what they need to do. So that's very good. I like that. It's good karma as well. Nice. Who's blocking you? King of Swords. Somebody else is very particular about how they like things done. But what about my little project? And what about my little thing? And da-da-da-da. And how are you going to take care of me? And you're like, you have your own private little place. It's not going to be an issue. This person is going to try and be a pain in the butt, but they're not, because you already figured out that they were going along with the project, and you're like, no, I got this. You can handle it. I've got you covered, dude. And yes, the 5 of Pentacles is showing that you're going to want to make sure that everyone's putting in their amount of money if they want you to be in charge of this vacation project, maybe. So I'm envisioning you and your friends are all going to go on a vacay together, but everybody has to get on board with their amount of money for the Airbnb, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's, what about me and my special needs and such? And like, no, I've got a spot for you in the Airbnb. You ain't really having a problem, okay? And now everybody needs to put in their amount of money. And you're like, yeah, if you wanted the guest house that goes with the thing because you need private space, well, you're going to have to pay more. And now you're going to shake it out of him. Okay, I like that. At least for now, that's how it's working. So, all right, Aquarius, let's talk about the 12th through the 18th. The 12th through the 18th shows that, yes, you are going to have to use a convincing argument to get people over to your way of thinking. So you've come up with this plan, you've worked it through, and now you have to talk to them one at a time to win them over individually, because if you try and convince them all as a group, it's going to be a hot mess. So you've got your plan, you've got things going, but now you have to win them over one at a time. All right? I like that. Very nice. Now, what's missing here, or what's blocking you? Somebody's going to be running around going, I can't afford to do any of that. That's too much for me. So, yeah, somebody's going to be worried about the finances and like naysaying the whole project because it's too expensive for them. They're like pondering a GoFundMe page for their vacation, and you get it. It's going to be a little bit of a thing, but don't let it stop you. Do be aware that you'll, of course, want to talk to them individually as well. And, of course, the Death card shows up, letting you know that there may be some folks that just say they can't do it, I'm sorry. I see what you've put together there, and I'm not going to be able to do that. So you're going to have to let something go. All right? This could be this person. You say, all right, I'm really sorry you can't afford this. Maybe it's just not a project for you. All right? So you're going to let them be off the list. You'll let people, physical stuff, a way of thinking, a relationship, or even a job. Whatever it is, you're going to let something go so you can move forward. All of you need to figure out the dates so that you can take the time off and set your job aside for that period of time. You could be releasing this person from their obligation to be a part of the whole project. Be aware that whatever you're letting go of will help you guys move forward, and you'll have a great time, okay? So just be aware, right? Now then, we're talking about 19th through the 25th. An opportunity to jump right in and be spontaneous and make the moves. So there will be something else that comes up in the mix. Maybe you're like, interesting. I can plan this week for all of me and my cat friends But then presto changeo, there's a following week somewhere else in another local location. Like, what if I took 2 weeks off and I go spend 1 week over there by myself or with my person? And then we have like 1 week of bliss without our friends, but 1 week of crazy with our friends, which will be super fun. I think that you may be choosing to do something spontaneously this week. It will be a benefit to you one way or the other. You could also just be starting a new job or a new class or a new thing, new exercise choice, a new hobby. Lots of opportunities to start something brand new at this time. It doesn't have to do with this project that's been working its way through, but I can also see you making a spontaneous choice about that. All right, nice. The Five of Cups is here blocking you, remembering little lessons from past relationships. So you're making a decision, and you may not remember that you're supposed to be asking about this from your person before you make this decision. So there's part of you that's like, hey, wouldn't it be great if, and you're kind of blowing it, you know? You forgot to ask first. And so your person is a little bit nuts. They're a little bit, what are you doing? What happened? Ugh. And your solution is the Chariot. You're going to move forward. You're going to move forward. You might be, some of you will be moving from one job to another, making the big move so this could be a new job situation where you jumped into a new job and now you're making the move. You have to get a 1 week notice, and I'm making moves to move over to the new job. This could be your house, right? Some of you are going to be like, wait, that's a better place for me to live. I'm going to just go for it. And you go ahead and you make the move, you do the thing, and presto changeo, now you have to do the final move, right? So it's very exciting. Lots of big changes are happening for Aquarius at this time. Big changes, big moves, very exciting. I'm excited to see this for you, all right? Lots of opportunities here. Let's see, the final week of October is October 26th through November 1st, all right? And we have the Wheel of Fortune, showing that there's a karmic lesson for you this week, okay? So you're getting some karma as a result, I believe, of you making this sudden decision without paying attention to your person. All right, so you may have made a sudden decision without talking to your person first or past relationships first, and now the karma is coming back to haunt you, okay? So you're going to have some instant karma. Pay attention to what that means for you, all right? What's blocking you at this time? Lessons from your past. Remembering the lessons from your past is blocking you. So you're not, either you are remembering them and they're holding you firm in your footsteps, or they're not holding you firm in your footsteps and you're not remembering them. So that can come across two different ways as a blockage, but be careful. Remember, it's a karmic lesson for you, and not remembering will be a bigger issue still. Not remembering that you've seen this before. I've seen this before. And then we have the Strength card as the solution. This is about working through and going beyond your limiting beliefs, reminding yourself that you're different than you were back then, and that you learned a lot, and so that you are, in fact, no longer limited, and you can be more and better than you used to be. All right? Cool. All right. All of these are going to get a little bit clearer when we go deeper on each week, but that's the gist of what's going on this particular month. Let's put these up here, Aquarius. This is different for us. We don't normally put them up here, but I really like them not being under my elbow over here, and that's kind of nice. So we'll go ahead and do that, especially when there's 4 weeks to stash. So that's cool. They're all up there. Now we'll go ahead and take these cards right here. Now we're going to go ahead and add new information through the Tarot of the Abyss, all right? And see what kind of information comes to help us understand what is happening here, all right? So let's go ahead and look at what's going on for September 28th through October 4th. we were talking about the Nine of Swords. People are wanting to put you in charge of something, and you're reluctant because you had a bad experience in the past. You're like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? And the answer is yes. Please say yes, because otherwise you'll have more trouble than you wanted. You will have all the tools at your disposal. You can make anything happen that you want to. You just got to get busy with it, okay? So the Magician is here to help you do that. Wonderful news. And the Eight of Swords, haha. The Eight of Swords is here, right here. It's going to be a double whammy with us, right here. And we're talking about how you genuinely have, you're feeling a little bit stuck, not 100% sure how to proceed. Maybe you need more information from the individuals that you're working on trying to take control of or whatever. And you're needing to do more due diligence to gather the information. If you're genuinely plotting and planning a group vacation with you and your friends, you're like, where do we want to go? Do we want to go tropical? Do we want to go to the mountains? Blah, 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 blah. So a questionnaire might be helpful to get you unstuck and get things rolling, okay? Of course, this is also going to alert some of the people in the group that there's something unclear. So the Eight of Swords here is mirrored right here, blocked, right? Other people are going to be withholding their opinions or their ideas, and or they're going to try and take it from you and be like, well, I think we should do da-da-da-da-da, and blah, 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 blah. They're going to have a lot of strong opinions, which are going to cause a little rift. So just be aware of that and be willing to hand it off to them if need be. Like, here, you do it. They're like, oh, I don't want to do it. Well, then stop being such a rift maker, yeah? So your partnership will be at issue. Maybe your own personal partner in life is getting in the way because they don't have time off, or they don't want to go there, or it's just not their bag, and they're like, why are we putting in so much energy and finance to do something we don't want to do? So keep an eye on it, right? If this is work related, this could be a totally different scene where your person is, okay, so if you're at work and all this is happening, you're being put in charge of a project, you have all the tools at your disposal, somebody else within your work team isn't on board with it, so you have to work it out and figure out what they want. You need to get to know your team, right? And somebody's going to try and naysay their way into the job, and you're like, hey, here, take it. And they'll be like, what? Wait, what? So that's going to be a project, right? So like I said, but your person at home is like, you're never home anymore. What's going on? I don't like this. This sucks. Or it could be a partner at work who's also uncomfortable with you taking on this project. So be aware of that. Frustration. And there will be new information that's empowering that comes to you that will stop you in your tracks for a few minutes. Maybe you'll discover that the time that you want to travel, you and your friends are thinking about traveling during hurricane season, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you're going to take a pause. You don't necessarily have to share it yet, but you're considering the possibility of sharing it. And if it's not with you and your friends, then it's going to be about how at work the empowering information about this project is like a dead project. We've never really grown it before, and we never really cared to grow it before, so why are we going to, we're just going to give this off to somebody to let them, this is the project we always hand out. So people will twiddle their thumbs a bit and be busy, but not actually doing anything. So you may be finding out that people are giving you busy work and getting all uptight about it when it's not even a real thing. I don't know why I'm getting that, but it sounds really like a freaking movie plot. So be careful about that and pay attention to the information and see what you're going to do with it, all right? Or maybe this is where you find out that somebody else has more stuff. Because here, the Five of Swords is about how something got delegated to somebody else and they're mishandling it. So you need to pull that back, okay? This might even be someone you don't even know. And you have to like go find them something else to do, so that you can take this back from them and then add it into what you're already working on, okay? And likewise, if it's you and your friends and you got a buddy who's working on the boat project in this area because he's got connections, and you're like, hey boat guy, I'm going to need that back from you because quite frankly, there's something going on that you weren't aware of, which if he's a boat guy, he should know all about the hurricane season. So that's a bad example, but you understand. You'll want to take it back from them and use that. Have the whole package be your project, not just a little bit of it. Hopefully it's not a fool's errand situation. That would suck. This card here is talking about part of your solution. Yep, the sun. The sun card is here showing that you will be given an opportunity to step into this area, not have all the answers, be fresh and new and curious, ask a lot of questions, be open to asking more questions, and take notes. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to keep going back and asking questions again. Take a lot of good notes so you don't ever have to go back and bug them again. You'll have a very short period of time to ask your questions, but you have this opportunity to be trained in the opportunities or whatever this information is. It's going to be quite brilliant. Take good notes, okay? Very good. Now, you have an opportunity. This is your final solution card. It's the Five of Wands. My goodness. So, yeah, the Five of Wands is about rallying the troops and getting people together. So, yeah, I can totally see how once you've got everything worked out with the Eight of Swords, that you're finally saying, okay, everybody, we want to come together and have a conversation. Let's come together. Let's everybody have a gather round. I learned a bunch of cool stuff. I know things I'm not supposed to know, and I'm going to help get everything going in the right direction. But let me show you all the pieces. You are going to get everyone together. I feel like you're going to lay all the cards out on the table so that everybody can see everything and have their say-so. And you'll take notes about that too. Their say-so is going to be quite informational for you and help you, whether some people cringe at the water, other people are like, oh, I want to go to the mountains. And you're like, okay, so you're going to find a lot of good information here, and it will help you make good decisions, all right? So this is a beautiful opportunity. Once you get everyone together, they will be able to share a lot of information all together, and everyone will see who the problem people are. They'll already see, oh, well, so-and-so wants to dominate this. Hey, we told somebody, we told this person she was in charge. We told Aquarius she was in charge. Why you keep trying to take over? So they'll put that person in their place, even so you don't have to. Okay? Nice. So gatherings can be a good thing. Aha. Could also be overpowering and such. So just keep it in mind. All right? Let's get you a Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle card. Nice, right? So this is a beautiful deck, very appropriate for October. It has little witches all over it, which is super cool. What do we need for Aquarius for this week? All right, I'll take that card. All right, so very cool. What a week. Lots of things are happening. I thought we'd get away from that story. Prosperity. Nice. Aquarius, you are living proof that prosperity is a thing, and you are prospering. Everywhere where you go, everything turns out the way it should and the way you want it to, more or less. And indeed, you're taking good care of yourself. You have taken good care of yourself thus far, and everything just keeps coming out the way it could and should, and it's beautiful. It's really quite beautiful to see this for you. I'm excited for you and really want this to be like the best possible version of what happens for you. Okay? Well done. Yay. Good job. Now then, let's talk about what's that mystery card over there? Ace of Pentacles. Yep. All the money you need is going to come to you pretty serendipitously. So whatever you need financially, if you need your people to start pitching in so you can take care of this project, or you feel like you don't want to be doing any of this stuff without having a little money in a special account so that you aren't like just twiddling your thumbs for nothing, you're going to have the money you need to take care of it. All right. For some of you, you may find money or have an overpaid bill come back to you, which is super cool. You are taking care of yourself and your finances, so this is good. You are having the extra benefit, like we talked about prosperity, right? Ace of Pentacles and prosperity. Everything is coming into alignment for you in October for the first week, and you're going to have all the good goodies that you need. All right, Aquarius, let's get you a pocket full of rocks. All right, we have smoky quartz, we have goldstone, and we have blue calcite. All right. Smoky quartz is all about a first chakra stone, and it's all about being grounded, but also about release. So letting go of things you don't need. It could be physical stuff, a way of thinking, a relationship, or even a job. Whatever you're releasing, you just let it go, right? That release is going to be a benefit to you, and we want you to have those benefits. Prosperity is your thing, so I'm pretty sure you're pretty good at it. So goldstone is another stone that's all about being physically active on the earth plane for all the things that you want from your higher heart. What's lovely is the goldstone and blue calcite can both operate in their regular chakras, the second and fifth, or they can operate in the higher heart, which is like the 4.5 chakra, right? So it's all about where the masculine and the feminine come together in our higher heart. And the feminine energy, which is the blue, dreams up what it wants. It says, hey, this is what I'd like to see, la 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 la. It comes up with the beautiful plans. And then goldstone is actually the one who is the male energy, and it comes in and physically does the work, right? I'm going to do the work. I'm going to create what you've asked for. I want to make my queen happy, all right? So your king wants to make your queen happy, which is super cool, all right? So keep that in mind, and I'm putting them back on their regular chakras. So second chakra, creating what the queen wants, right? What your higher heart wants. Now then, blue calcite, fifth chakra stone, about speaking very clearly, sharing your ideas very clearly, being heard and understood, but not emotional, right? It's not an emotional stone. So just be aware that you're being super. I mean, if you have feelings you haven't been sharing, those are going to come out. If you have ideas you haven't been sharing, those are going to come out. So wherever it's coming from, it's going to come out. But try and do it in a way that's clear and concise and not overly emotional, because some people just can't handle you can be very clinical in how you share your feelings. And it might be helpful to some folks not to have a person come out full tears, etc. Not to say the tears aren't warranted or worthy. It's important for you to process that and then come to the table clear-headed and share your feelings in a nice way so that everybody can hear you. Okay? Cool. I don't want anyone to get misunderstandings because they're caught up in the tears, right? A lot of people overreact or freak out when tears happen instead of realizing that, you know what, those are just tears. It's not bad. Okay? Cool. All right. Aquarius, what a week you're having. This is going to be a good month for you. I see lots of really things happening. Very cool. So very good stuff down here in the cards. You don't want to carry those stones. You don't have to. You can carry any stones you like. If you want to comment below and let me know how you like the reading or what rocks you're carrying, we'll have a conversation, and I would love to have that chat with you. That would be great. If you haven't looked in the description box below, there's all kinds of good things there. All the decks that I'm using, so you can find them on Amazon or Etsy, are there. You'll also find a wonderful collection of all the fairs that I go to, where I'll be in the country, when, and you can come on out to the fair and have an in-person reading, which would be super fun. If you can't make it out to the fair when I'm there, I totally get it. I'm sometimes across the country. By all means, feel free to reach out for a phone reading. There's a link down in there where you can book a over-the-phone reading with me, and I will happily read for you over the phone. Excellent. So, if you want to like, share, and subscribe, that would really help my little channel grow, and I would appreciate you one and all. Thank you so much for being here, Aquarius, and we will talk next week about the 5th through the 11th. Thank you.